The glow of torches flickered in Saul's throne room, casting long shadows across the stone walls. David stood before the king, harp in hand, playing a melody to soothe the troubled ruler's soul. But tonight, the music could not calm Saul's demons. His hand tightened around the bronze spear resting beside his throne. The whispers in his mind grew louder. "He will take your throne. He will take everything." Saul's fingers trembled. His breath came in ragged gasps. And then he snapped. With a wild cry, he hurled the spear. David saw the flash of metal and ducked. The spear slammed into the wall, quivering inches from his head. David's chest heaved. His hands clenched the harp, knuckles white. For a moment, neither man moved. Then Saul reached for another spear. David didn't wait. He ran. That night, Saul's wrath burned like an unquenchable fire. His own son, Jonathan, had dared to defend David. "Why should he die?" Jonathan had pleaded. "He has done nothing but serve you faithfully." Saul's eyes blazed with fury. "As long as he lives, you will never be king." Jonathan's breath caught. The truth hit him like a hammer. His father wanted David dead, not because he was dangerous, but because he was chosen. Jonathan fled to the fields outside the city. David was waiting. One last time, they spoke in hushed voices beneath the stars. Jonathan gripped David's shoulders. "Swear to me," he whispered, "that no matter what happens, you will show kindness to my descendants." Tears glistened in David's eyes. "I swear it." Jonathan took a step back. His voice wavered. "Go, my brother. Run, before it's too late." David turned and vanished into the wilderness. Days passed, then weeks. David had become a fugitive, fleeing from Saul's relentless pursuit. His only hope lay with Samuel, the prophet who had anointed him. But even in the sacred city of Ramah, Saul's assassins followed. David barely escaped with his life. There was nowhere left to run. Desperate, he returned to his own home, to Michal. His wife met him at the door, eyes wild with fear. "You must leave now," she whispered. "Tonight they are coming to kill you." David's heart clenched. Michal, Saul's daughter, the woman he loved. He wanted to stay, to fight, but there was no time. Michal led him to a window, a long drop into the shadows below. She touched his face one last time. "Go." David climbed through the window, disappearing into the night. Moments later, Saul's men burst through the door. They ripped the covers from the bed, only to find it empty. Michal had tricked them. David was already gone. Nowhere was safe. David had no army, no supplies. He was a fugitive, hunted by the most powerful man in Israel. So where did he go? To the enemy. Disguised, David entered Gath, the city of the Philistines. But even there, he was recognized. "Is this not David?" the people whispered. "The one they sing about? Saul has slain his thousands, but David his tens of thousands." David felt their eyes on him. Whispers turned to suspicion. Suspicion turned to danger. David had to act fast. He staggered forward, eyes wide, mouth hanging open. Drool dripped from his beard. He scratched at the doors, mumbling nonsense. The Philistine king watched in disgust. "Is this the great warrior of Israel?" he sneered. "Get this madman out of my sight." And so, David fled again. Not to a palace, not to a fortress, to a cave. The cave of Adullam, dark, cold, a hollow refuge in the wilderness. David sat alone in the shadows, his body weary, his soul weighed down with grief. He had lost everything, his home, his wife, his best friend. He had no throne, no army, no future. But then, footsteps echoed through the cave. One man entered, then another, then 10, then 50. They were not mighty warriors. They were the broken, the outcasts, the desperate. Men fleeing debt, men running from the law, men with nothing left to lose. And they all looked to David. His heart pounded. He had lost everything. But Yahweh had given him something new, an army, a family, a purpose. And as he looked into their eyes, David knew this was just the beginning.